Welcome everybody back to the Weekly Huddle YouTube channel. I have now completed moving, so I should be able to start putting on some more content consistently. I know there was a period there where I was struggling to get anything out. I'm happy with the reception that the Sports Media Heels video got that I made with the whole, in the middle of the whole movement stuff like that. So I have internet now here, and I still have to work on finding a place to record where it's not so echoey. I'm going to try to do my best in editing to get rid of that. Other than that, though, I just want to get in and start making content again. So this, if you read the title correctly, is if this player comes out in the draft. I know he may or may not be able to come out. I think he should because he's very good and might as well go out on top. But is the full 2023 draft prospect profile of Christian Mahogany, interior offensive lineman from Boston College. Now, the reason it's the full draft summary of him is because he is not playing this season due to a knee injury. So if he comes out this year, this is all the tape we will get on him until he's playing in the NFL. So I'm going to get ahead of this and just make his full draft summary right now. So let's just dive right into it. As you see, I'm using the Dynasty Index. I'm just going to do a quick overview of him, and then we're going to go into some of the tape I reviewed and break down some of the plays that showed me why I graded him the way I did. So Christian Mahogany was a 3-star recruit. Currently, I don't have a lot of interior offensive linemen graded, so he's my first overall offensive lineman. Interior offensive lineman, 6'3", 335 for Boston College. You can read that if you get the Dynasty Index. Just real quick, his grade is an 81.5. I think his strongest ability or trait is his football IQ. I'm in Boston College. You usually pump out these really good and smart offensive linemen, so that shouldn't be a very big surprise. Other than that, though, I think he's just a very good blend of mix of power, size, and movement ability, especially for a guard. So I think he is a rare blend of a guy who can do the zone concept, moving pocket kind of things, but also have, he's 335. He's not a small guy. He's a big boy, and he can move some dudes, and he has some power, and he's got some pop in his hands. I think that he, right now, could use some more refinement and getting coached up a little bit more. He is still a younger player, but I think his overall athletic profile projects him to be someone who is very scheme flexible, can play in a power scheme or a zone scheme, great mover, has some power, has the body composition to really come out and be somebody who isn't subjected to just being stuck in one scheme. So I think that'll raise his draft stock when it comes more towards like the combine if he does take part in it and shows off those athleticism with those measurables. And I think on tape we'll see that also shows up in his different ways he can move and get out in space as well as just move dudes off the block. So, yep, this is my draft grade breakdown. If you want, you can pause and read this, or you can pay $3 a month to get the Dynasty Index, get access to all of our 2023 prospects we've already scouted. I've done like 50 guys already so far. So, I mean, we have some dudes already up here. I know I have the edge rushers of the deepest class I've done so far. With 8 guys. So if you want to get all of these kind of prospect reviews that I do or prospect profiles that Caleb does, just go ahead and hit him up on Twitter, and let's just dive into his some film now. As always, shout out to Do a Barrel Roll for doing these cut-ups. He's already got plenty of done for this season. And as well as you see on the right-hand side, Kill Pro 88, Caleb, who also does Dynasty Index, he does the cut-ups for like the more skill position guys and higher-rated dudes on defense. So always good resources here. So what's going to dive into this play first is going to exemplify one of the biggest things I think I like about his game is his ability, despite being a big man, to get into those movable pockets and get out into space. So we see him, he's the right guard right here, number 73. He's able to get out, and not only is he able to get into the space he's supposed to get, so boom, he gets right off, he opens his hips and opens up and gets wide. His job is to now provide more of a pocket for him to roll right if he needs to also sell the play action. I think it's going to be going right. So he gets out, and he experiences contact while he's moving laterally. Now, some guys who are bigger and aren't that adept at moving laterally, as soon as they're not have their feet set or not moving downhill, if they experience contact going sideways, they'll give up the inside or they'll let the guy get in, which is why you see these smaller defensive tackles really winning these reps. Whereas he's able to push off these D-tackle, can maintain movement to the outside and then reset, and now he's got good eyes on him. He stays busy, keeps his hands on it, doesn't let him just get lost in the sauce, and then he lets the ball get out of there. So I just really like his movement on this play here. doesn't get moved off his spot when he's middle movement of moving laterally out. He doesn't really have his base set when he gets made contact with there. So I think that's a good play right there for him. It really shows up when I'm talking about when it comes to size and ability. Plus his hand technique is solid there. He keeps his defender outside of his frame, gets a good push off with his hand. So I think that is a good example of the kind of play I'm talking about with the lateral movement. So that is just the first of many plays we'll see where he is going to be one of the better movers on the field for his size. Now his next play, he's right here, number 73, right to the right of the center. This is a play where they're going to try to get the ball going out and left. They're probably going to hit the hole here in like the C gap or something like that because they see this guard pulls out, Zion Johnson moves out and tries to get that hole open. Clemson holds us up pretty well, and Mahogany's job on this play is to get to the second level and cut off this backside linebacker so that way he can't loop over and make the play. However, he's not able to get there and cut him off on that angle because it's so roadblocked up here. But instead, he realizes that and he walls off this way to make it more of kind of like a zone read concept where the running back can make a good cutback. And now, when the linebacker sees a running back cutback, he's not going to be able to get through him. So he makes a good play here. Again, get up to the second level, and he's able to just really control that linebacker. So he gets right here. He gets a little shove on the D lineman. Walls off the linebacker, allows for the good cutback on a play that's originally intended to go to the left, but he sees the cutback, walls off the linebacker, and then running back can get the first down. And then here we got the better angle from the all-22. So, yeah, they're all coming down this way. And, yeah, there is a cutback room. He's looping around, so there's an option for him to go up here. And then they're blocking to the right, so probably here would be the hole, or here they want to hit. This is kind of more of a zone concept, so when he goes up to block off that second linebacker, he's in good position right now. He's not over pursuing him or under pursuing him. He's in a good spot, still head up on him. He's able to get to that second level, and then the running back sees that, cuts back up over here, and then the linebacker has no chance, even if he didn't already commit to the hole. So this play is one that's going to exemplify when I talk about like intelligence. Like these Boston College linemen know what they're doing on the field. Again, right here, right guard. They're going to send this linebacker and then this linebacker. I believe it's this linebacker. They're going to send a second guy. They're going to send him and someone else on delayed blitz. He has these two guys in A gap. He's going to bounce out and try to take this outside, and the linebacker's going to try to beat him inside. So he's stunting to the B, blitzing the A. He knows where his protection settings are. So he's going to totally sidestep this D lineman, trusting that his right tackle knows where he's supposed to be as well. And the right tackle's going to pick him up, and he's going to pick up his blitzer. So that way there's no interior pressure, which is the most dangerous kind of pressure in football. So right here, he sidesteps him, immediately picks up this blitzer, and then there's a delayed blitzer coming in, which will be the tight end, wing back, running back. It's a play-action pass, so whoever the extra defender, the blocker is, so it would be this running back, this tight end kind of bumps him anyway. So he understands that, gets a little, let's see. Yeah, so he sidesteps him, picks him up, keeps him good in front of him, doesn't hold him. The linebacker's trying to bounce off of him, do these speed rush moves, stuff like that. He doesn't hold him. He keeps him in front of him, keeps him square, doesn't let him try to, use his athleticism to go around him. So it's a great understanding of where you're supposed to be, where your fan protection is. So he knows the protection slides to the right with the running back. Knows to just let that guy stunt over to here, pick up that linebacker, and then plays good hand technique with him, keeps his base wide, doesn't allow him to try to push off and then get a good hole. He's with them. If this guy tries to break inside, he's just going to shuffle over. He's got him there. He's got him right where he wants him. So that's a great pass pro rep right there as a guard, especially with an interior blitz that they sent the house on. Now, this is the play I want to use to show one of his negatives, is that he is a great athlete, and he's able to, when he gets out of his stance and gets to the second level, which he does a lot. He does a lot in this game. I'm not showing it because I don't want to be too redundant. But this play right here is the right guard. He gets beat. He's supposed to wall this D lineman off this way. They're trying to go to the left. He needs to try to cross the D lineman's face and then beat him out. But he's slow out of his stance, so the D lineman's able to get out and get in front of him where he's trying to, laterally cut him off. So he may be able to do it if he was able to get out of his stance faster. I can trust his lateral ability to be able to cut off this guy off. But because this D lineman beats him off the snap and he's already across his face, he's at a disadvantage because he didn't get out fast enough. Now he's going to be able to get across him, and because he's still struggling trying to get across, he loses kind of his wide base. D lineman beats him, forces the run back into his own guy, and that's a loss for play. So again, he is able to make those kind of plays where he's able to beat these defensive linemen across their face. However, this one he wasn't able to get out of his stance, and he's just kind of inconsistent when it comes out of jumping out of his stance, getting out of his stance, bursting out like that. I think that's something that can be improved with the coaching and probably some more some training. But yeah, that's just a play where I think that shows up probably one of the bigger examples of that big weakness he has. Here's another play. It's another pass pro. I just want to show off, one, just because it's another good IQ play, picks up the stunt, but also just how fluid he is as a pass protector. He's able to kick slide and just move so well because he knows it's going to be a deep drop back. How many steps was that? I didn't even check. The quarterback. See, so shotgun, 1, 2, 3 after 4 after delayed. Probably, I would consider that a 5-step drop out of shotgun after a fake handoff. So he needs to get deep because they need to be able to provide a pocket deeper back here. So he's able to smoothly move back and keep his eyes up and keep square to the line of scrimmage, and he catches this stunt. So this guy comes in, he's going to loop all the way around. But he stayed on this guy the whole time, even though his man was originally lined up against him, is going to loop around on the outside. This gun's going to crash down. He maintains that guy, allows his right tackle to pick up the stunt. So nice fluid footwork, keeps hands on this guy, and eyes and vision, understands this is his man now. Make a good pocket, allows the quarterback to take a deep drop, get a good pocket in front of him to make this throw. It's not a great throw, but you know what? We're not criticizing the quarterback or scouting the quarterback here. That was just a good pocket made by a guard who understands how to use his body weight, how to move well, and how to pick up stunts and blitzes. So here's one where he gets some good get off, and this is just raw power. Like you're one-on-one, man-on-man with this defensive tackle, and you just need to push him back and drive him back, and he gets a little bit of a chip to get the guy in position to where they want because they want to run up the middle here. So he gets a little chip by his center, so that way he gets him in the area in which they want to clear out the hole. But now it's just him moving him and forklifting him out of the way. So that's another thing where he has got good power, he's got good size and weight to him, but if he can consistently get out of a stance like that and fire into the guy, he should be just fine and have one of the better run blocking grades in the class. Another good pass pro set here. Not as deep of a drop, so it's not going to show off his good footwork, but he just does a little shuffle out here. And this one's an example of great hand placement. So right here, he's got his hand on his outside shoulder, other hand down on his hip. He's driving him inside. He's like, okay, you want to go inside? I will drive you inside to this mass of 4 dudes that I know I have here. Guy tries to switch it up because he realizes it's just a giant dog pile. He switches it up, hand on the left shoulder and on the hip, and he just starts riding them outside. I mean, his quarterback kind of rolls under pressure, but he's able to now, instead of letting this guy go inside, setting up here, and then allowing the guy to beat him back around on the outside, he keeps his feet moving, flips his hand placement, and now he's just driving the guy where he wants to go, but look at all this daylight here the quarterback could have went to. So he's keeping his guy out of the pocket and allowing his quarterback, if a better quarterback, to be able to manage that pocket a little better. Here's a quick play showing his get off. He's got some good get off when he wants to. Like, boom, he's already into the other guy. See how the line of scrimmage was back here? Now it's already reset up here. They've already gotten some pushes because they were out of stance faster. He's not even opening up to the running back yet, and they're already getting into their guys. So it's very inconsistent. He's got it when he wants to get out there and beat the guy off the ball. It's just consistency that he really needs to work on. I love his vision here. So this is another play where he gets some decent get off. He's already getting into his lineman. He's beating him. It's about an equal battle when it comes to the get off. So now they're meeting here at the line of scrimmage. He gets hands on him, gets extension, and then his eyes are already up. So he sees this guy coming. Immediately, while pushing him back, gets off of him and blows this guy up. Puts him down, buries him a little bit. So I just like that he was able to, even if he doesn't blow this guy back, he blows him back 2 yards and then finds the linebacker. Knows this guy's already out of the play because I'm assuming they want to run it up here. That's where this guy's down blocking. I'm assuming they want to run up this side. So he gets this guy pushed back in the direction he wants to. Sees his linebacker, thinks, oh, he might want to shoot the gap, try to blow up the play before it fully develops. Pushes that guy back, immediately pancakes this dude. That's just a great read right there. He was probably meant to climb up that linebacker anyway if he was just flowing over. So he was able to take out 2 guys basically in the span of a second. Now here's my last big issue with him, and we're going to go to some other of the games he's played against just to show off some of his better run blocking because I think those games really show that off well, especially in the second level. But in this play, he's right here. He doesn't have the best low pad level, so like defensive linemen who can get into him really good. Like his get off in pass protection is better than in run blocking, or it's more consistent, I should say. But he can play with a higher pad level in pass protection, especially when the defensive lineman doesn't really try anything. So I think he needs to get more used to just preparing every rep as if someone's going to try to bull rush him and to stay low. And in this rep, he also just takes the second half of the play off, doesn't play through the whistle, and allows the quarterback to get sacked. So this isn't the best of his plays. So he picks up the stun, good hands, good feet. Does that, gets a little car jacked up. he's got now a high base, and now he's not like he's got his feet back, so it's kind of compensation. Now he's kind of leaning, so good defensive interior rushers like Aaron Donald or something like that will be able to use that against him. So you'd rather see them sit back and use that as their base as opposed to standing straight up and leaning forward. And yeah, just doesn't play through the whistle, allows this guy to get sacked. I don't know if they blew a whistle like right here when the defensive line or end got him, but he was kind of getting away, and he just kind of stood there and played patty cake and allowed his other D lineman to get a hit on him. So I feel like good play, good vision, gets hands on, finds a stunt, good eyes, good play. Even if the pad level is a little high, still able to anchor because he's got that bigger weight and bigger frame. Might need to work on the anchoring part or the consistency of the leg dip and the center of gravity getting a little lower, but you know what? This worked out for the play, and then just kind of stops. So I think play through the whistle, keep blocking, and then, let this quarterback get hit. I didn't very much like that play, but that's not indicative of like a consistent thing that happens in his gameplay. I feel like he's much more consistent with his pass pro, being good technique, picking up those blitzes and things like that. I just think lower pad level in pass pro and then in run game, get off is a little better. Other than that, he's a pretty polished prospect. All right, here we got to play against Missouri in pass pro. He's a little bit lungy here. Good movement, takes a step inside, sees them trying to crash the A gap, comes in, picks up this guy, knows this is his stunter, goes to hit a punch, and he just kind of loses his balance, gets a little lean going. Like I said, if he were to just sit here and then catch him, so instead of being the aggressor, try to pancake him, thinking, oh, this guy's not looking at me, I can hit him from the side and pancake him. If he would just have sat back, put his center of gravity a little back further, and just sat back on his heels and let him come to him and just stood stood firm like he did a lot in the Clemson game, I think he wouldn't have gotten thrown off like that. But regardless, didn't really impact the play as much. So still overall, knew what he was doing. Just needs to work on consistently getting that lower pad level when he's in pass pro. It hasn't affected his anchor as much, but you'll get plays like that where he gets thrown off his anchor or thrown off his balance. So yeah, run play here, zone play to the right, just trying to blow up this guy and then move up to the linebacker, just allow his running back some holes to be able to. He wants to get this guy enough on his outside to allow his center to take over from him before he pops up to the linebacker. Great play for him, allow his running back to get a bunch of different holes to pick through, get a good play here. So yeah, immediately beats this guy moving laterally, allows his center to take over from here, gets over here, picks up this guy, removes him from the play, allows his running back to cut it up, get a good play here. So yeah, like I said, he's got that power with the size he has, and also, and I think there is some. Let me look at my notes real quick. He's got some good. I showed some power in the Clemson game, but this game specifically, he's got a good couple power plays, and then he can move well in zone concepts to be able to pick that up. So I like him as a versatile offensive lineman piece, and especially in the run game. Here we go with some of that get off and power in the run game that he can show when he gets more comfortable. I'm assuming his get off gets better as you go through the games and as the season goes on. This game was the game before Clemson, so the Clemson game, as you saw him get further and further into the game, it got more consistent. But here he is, gets off, gets into his D lineman, pushes him back, pushes his linebacker back, gets this whole. The line of scrimmage is now 2 yards deeper than it already was. He could have walked forward and gotten the first down just because his interior lineman, including Mahogany, just got so much good push up here. But he's able to get into that comfortable zone and then find a cutback lane because he's got so much room back there. So yeah, good push right there, good get off. We'll show it again real quick. Boom. Just moving bodies up front. So that's a good play right there, especially with one of his weaknesses being his lack of a consistent get off. And then here he shows his power off, just forklifting this D tackle, just moving him against his will, pushing him back, giving room for his running back. This linebacker doesn't shoot this gap right here. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 18. Where did 18 come from? The edge. Tyler Vrabel misses block or something? Ooh, no. He was supposed to bite on that fake. I think that was a bad read option for the quarterback, or something went wrong there. But yeah, he pushed back. Like again, all three of these guys just bullied their defenders backwards. He's got the big number 99 D tackle, just pushes him back 3 yards downfield. This running back had this cushion to run through as long as that D end doesn't bites on the fake. So yeah, just shows off his good power in this game as well. Let's switch over to Virginia Tech now. Yep, first play of the game, immediately just moves this guy against his will back that way. Just does whatever he wants with them. It looks super easy. It doesn't even look like he's trying that hard to move this guy back. Boom, he's just pushing it back like he's on skates. So great power. Like I said, he's got that. There's a play coming up where even though he leaves his stance late, there you go, pushing him outside again. Even though he leaves his stance late, he still gets that good power drive. So I want to get to that play real quick. And would you look at that? It's the next play. All right, so right here, he's this guy. He's still in the stance right here. This guy's getting up. Everyone else is already into the man getting up. Gets up, grabs this dude, just pushes him back. Leg drive, moves him back. Like I think he's a linebacker, probably like a Sam linebacker, one of those oversized guys, or maybe he's an edge rusher. He's down to 3 points, so he's definitely an edge rusher. But he's on the interior. They're running like a 5-man front here. That's kind of weird. I'm assuming this is a linebacker. They reduced this defensive end into the B gap, so that way they can run the 5-man over with the linebacker. I'm assuming this is like a 3-4 defense, but regardless, yeah, he's super late getting out of stance here, so that's kind of a knock on him, but he has that power to grab this probably 250, 260-pound defensive end and just move him and drive his legs and get him out of the way. Regardless of how the play ends up, he does his job. He gets this guy from here and drives him 5 yards back behind the play. If the running back, if the defense didn't make a good play here by collapsing it, this D tackle didn't beat the center. I'm forgetting his name. I was really low on him last year. He's got a brother plays for the Falcons. Wow, I can't remember his name. But anyway, he gets absolutely destroyed. So that blows up this play. But if that doesn't happen, he's bullying this defensive end. I think you could maybe try him at tackle. Like with how good his movement is and how fluid he is as a kick stepper and moving backwards, and his rare blend of power and speed. If you put him against these 250-pound defensive ends a lot more, I'm just going to let this play in the background while I talk real quick. Yeah, he's just very fluent, very intelligent with his pass blocking, pass pro right here. I don't know if he'll be able to deal with like speed rushers as well, but I think he could maybe be a guy you try to out at right tackle in like in case of emergency, or you try him out there first and let him fail inwards to guard, because we know he's a good guard, but he's such a good mover and good at drop back sets with the kick step that if you want to put his power out there and let him be like an overwhelming blocker, because he can use his power against these smaller D linemen, I would try him at right tackle first. If not, right guard, he looks comfortable. He looks like he has the strength and the size to handle the interior defensive lineman in the NFL, and he looks like he's like a better mover than half the nose tackles or other 3 techs that they're going to be putting against him. So I think as a complete package, we'll just pull up my Chris Mahogany thing again. I think as a complete package, he's got a bit of work to do when it comes to consistency with getting out of his stance, and just overall, I mean, again, more reps, more playing time, especially in NFL and in practice and those like off-season camps, and getting more chemistry with his line. That'll be important for him, especially if he gets drafted and he doesn't have his Boston College teammates he's around that he's been practicing with or been with for his entire career. When he's a rookie, he might struggle with the IQ stuff just because that takes time to gel and get chemistry. But I think he's physically an NFL offensive lineman right now. He's a rare blend of size and movement skills, fits any scheme. And I think that if you're a good coach and you have a good trainer to be able to get him conditioned enough and get his mentality right to be able to get off the ball and be aggressive and attack in the run game every single play and get into his man, you can really get something special with this guy. So he's got some room to improve, and this is all we're going to get if he comes out this year as it comes to tape. But as it stands right now, I take him high second, maybe even a late first rounder, depending on who's picking there. I would definitely like my Buffalo Bills took him. I think he's the complete package when it comes to a guard and just needs to fine-tune some things. So, yeah, that is the Christian Mahogany 2023 draft profile. I went through and did some tape. Shout out to Do a Barrel Roll for helping me get the film and break down this stuff. That's what I use to scout these guys. If you like this content, not hoping that anyone else gets injured or opts out or anything like that, but when it gets close to the draft time, maybe I'll go through and do a couple more of these breakdowns. I know I did an Aiden Hutchinson one last year that did decently well for my channel. So, yeah, if you like this, I'll have more content like this coming out soon, and I'll catch you guys next time.